AITA for telling my boss no to working weekends, when my coworkers don't? I got hired for this salaried job where they really hyped up the work-life balance and reasonable hours in the job interview. Like the way that they never expect people to stay late or work on weekends or holidays. That turned out to be BS. My boss got my personal phone number off my resume from when I applied, and after not long he was blowing up my phone on nights and weekends asking me to come work. I'd always not answer then when he'd ask on Monday why I wasn't answering my phone. I'd pull out my work phone like, "Sorry. Are you sure you had the right number? I'm not seeing any missed calls." And he'd often say he called my own cell, so I'd say that I don't really use it much. I leave it home a lot. And when I do check it, I've usually got like 40 missed calls and my voicemail is always full, so I probably miss stuff unless I'm expecting a call at a certain time. And that if he needs to reach me, he should try my work phone because I'm very careful to follow up on any call to that within one business day. He asked me how he could reach me outside of 9 to 5 because he sees I leave my work phone on my desk at night and over the weekend. I said that honestly I'm not glued to any phone on the weekend, so if he needs me to take a call on the weekend, could he make it a meeting request and put it on my calendar so I know to be available? Or if I know I won't be available to take a call, I can suggest an alternate time to call. He said that wasn't really gonna work for him. More often things come up last minute, and when he calls people on the weekend it wasn't planned. And that he's not calling for a teleconference meeting. He's calling asking people to come in. I said that on the weekends I usually have commitments that were made 1 to 3 weeks out in. I'm not often able to cancel a previous commitment with under a day notice. So if he needs me in on a weekend, it'd be best if he could schedule that 3 weeks out so that I know not to make conflicting plans. He said that wasn't possible, and I said okay. He could try and reach out and I'd answer the phone if I heard it ringing. But I wasn't always on the phone, so I might not catch it always. Anyway, I've gone back to ignoring his calls, and my coworkers have gotten kinda frustrated with me, saying that coming in on weekends is part of the job and that I wasn't pulling my weight. I said that I don't know what job they signed on for, but in my job interview I was promised regular hours and took my pay based on regular hours, so I'm working regular hours. My coworkers got frustrated and said that if everyone did what I was doing, nothing would get done. I said maybe nothing should get done then, if it's coming at the cost of y'all not being home for dinner with the family. I don't really think my coworkers see it as an option to say no. So they're angry at me because I'm doing it and they're not comfortable doing it. AITA for not working evenings or weekends. NTA, but I'd start looking for a new job. NTA, but be prepared to be fired soon. Your coworkers and boss are going to be looking for any reason to get you in trouble, and if you are on probation, expect to be let go. I know it sucks, but that's the way these companies' bootlickers work. Good on you standing your ground, and shame on the company for lying to you about the job. NTA. The employment contract should be respected by both sides. You are entitled to your days off. Plus, we don't live just for work. NTA. If shit isn't getting handled during the work week, then that's on the people slacking off. The only time I ever came in on my days off when I was in the military and literally ordered to. NTA. The only people being unfair are your coworkers who are being unfair to themselves. If they get frustrated, then they should stop working weekends. Hopefully they figure that out and stick to it. If it's a genuine issue for the business, then they need to find a fair way of scheduling time on weekends and compensating people for that. Not asking you to work last minute for no extra pay. NTA. You work the hours you are paid for. Your coworkers' lack of boundaries is their issue. NTA. As you said, you signed on for the salary and hours implied. You owe nothing outside of that. But look for another job. You won't keep this one for long. Also, good post for anti-work. NTA. At all. But I also wouldn't expect to last very long there. I sympathize though. I've had jobs with weird, last-minute call-ins, and I hated it and stopped doing it after a while for reasons similar to yours. If they want me in, schedule me in, but I'm not dropping pre-made plans anymore. NTA. Wasn't a stated requirement and your boss hasn't even formalized a schedule to adhere to. You don't have to be on call all weekend because something might come up unless it's specifically enumerated part of your job and comes with some form of compensation. Your coworkers are just upset you had the guts to say no to a bad organization. Weekends and overtime should be utilized as catch-up time if needed. If an organization cannot survive without this time, then something needs to change in the organization. NTA. That's a toxic workplace. Leave. NTA. Tell him you'd start working after hours if they changed you to hourly with OT and see how fast he backpedals. NTA. Your coworkers have accepted these unfair working conditions. And it's easier to be mad at you, read, jealous, than it is to stick up for themselves and demand a change in company culture. Unfortunately, your coworkers are the ones who have accepted and normalized this treatment. And now seeing you reject that same treatment probably makes them feel disappointed in themselves for accepting it as normal, for sacrificing their own quality of life for work, for seeing how easily you can say no, and self-disappointment sometimes comes out as anger at the person who made you realize that you fucked up. Also, at the core of this, no boss should be expecting free labor. If you knew this was a 5 to 7 days a week job, not just 5 days, your salary would reflect that. The best case scenario is for your coworkers to also respect their free time. Not for you to disrespect your free time to make them feel better. NTA. Put do not disturb mode on a schedule for those days to block his phone from reaching you. My coworkers got frustrated and said that if everyone did what I was doing, nothing would get done. If true, that's a fucked up place that lied to you and doesn't deserve your efforts. Find another gig before they decide to fire you for whatever bullshit. NTA. NTA. And I think there are laws that cover even how many hours salaried employees can work without overtime pay. That said, you might not have your job long. At this rate. NTA. It sounds like you're the only one who has the cojones to stand up to your boss's attempts to force you to work weekends, evenings. You were promised a regular schedule with regular hours, when I've been expected to pick up non-standard shifts. It's been made crystal clear at the time I was hired. Consider looking for another job though. It sounds like your boss will keep trying this crap. NTA. But I hope you're not planning on getting a raise or a promotion, because that's never going to happen. NTA. For clarification, is he just asking you some questions off hours, or is he expecting a full shift, so to speak? NTA. And document everything. Boss calls you several times on your day off? Screenshot the call log and email it to yourself to back up to a cloud. Same with texts. Any emails and any DMs. I got fired in September after refusing to go in after hours on a day I was not scheduled as being on call and was my wife's birthday. Point blank told my boss that my family is my priority, and less than a week later I was fired. But I had been documenting and now have a claim filed with the EEOC that's headed to remediation. Document everything you can and start looking for a better employer. Op. NTA, but it would probably be a good idea to start looking for a different job. Just because this is obviously a toxic environment and it doesn't seem like it'll get any better. And if all your coworkers start hating you, they'll be more likely to not want to work well with you. Like not be helpful, not nice, etc. And I personally think working with good, nice people is half the battle. Why be miserable? We spend so much time at work. We should try to enjoy it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.